Hi ladies and gentlemen, Sean Davies, ColoradoReinsman. Starting this video off in a paddock with our stall and a little barn. This is Arrow. And on the other side over there, that real pretty little Grulla is Diablo, and they're both Mustangs off the Black Hills Wild Horse Sanctuary. They're both about 3 years old, and they're here with me for a very short time. They're supposedly leaving in a few days. I've had them here for a few weeks just to get some basic handling. They had been handled a little bit in South Dakota, but it had been quite a while, and I realized as I started working with them, they didn't have a lot to work on the ground. The old gentleman that was doing some of the initial handling up in South Dakota would work mostly off the back of another horse with these guys. When I went to go pick them up, they did get on the trailer fairly easily, so I could tell that there was some handling. But as I got them in, started working with them, they didn't know much about working off of a halter. They knew a little bit about their feet, but I've been working on that. Diablo, you couldn't pick up his feet at all. Arrow has a little issue with his right hind being protective, but I'm going to start off this video. We're going to work both of them today. I'm going to start off this video just about catching these guys. Now I had them on the other side of this barn that we're renovating, and they were in slightly bigger paddocks. These are about 12 by 20 paddocks here, which has helped them gain the trust a little bit more in me catching them. So this guy was really the one, and he's very nice, but he was the one that kind of said, I don't know if I want you to catch me. So now he's gotten to the point where I can walk in and pretty much walk up to him. Now, he's gotten so much better about putting a halter on. But this guy would give me about 10-15 minutes on the other side over there to catch him. Now I grabbed a halter that's going to be a little bit too big for them, so I'm going to change that in the inside here. But this was great. This just shows now that in a smaller pen I can pick him up pretty quick. Diablo, he's getting a lot better, but he was also a little tough to get caught. So the funny thing is, here I'm doing this video, that's the best I've caught him. And that just shows that the work that we've been doing on the halter has really made a difference. We're going to go in the barn now, so stay tuned. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we're inside the arena now, and it's just a tad warmer in here. We've been having some really cold weather here in Colorado, and the average days have been about 16. I think we're at balmy 22 now. Now when I get these guys in, I've started to do a little grooming here at the beginning. I found early on, since they had been handled a lot, that it was better for me to move them around and then groom them and work with their feet, because they got a little bit nervous coming into an inside area here. And now they're starting to realize that, hey, I can just stand here, I can groom them. If they move around, it's okay. I'm just going to get a little bit of this mud off of him with a little curry here. And of course, grooming is really a good way to get these horses to overcome their issues. And the more I rub down their legs, the better they've gotten about giving me their legs. Now I'm going to pick up his feet at the end. Good boy. Now the really neat thing about this little guy that nobody knew is as I began working him, he's gaited. He's kind of gaited approximately like a foxtrotter. You're going to see that when I start moving him around, which, you know, finding gaited Mustangs is kind of a rarity. They are out there. I know some BLM pickup areas have standing orders for gaited Mustangs. Good boy. I'm not going to get too crazy with him right now. I might just see how he's going to react to me working, at least pick up his front feet. Make sure he doesn't have a rock or something in here. He's a good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Now, he wasn't too terrible. I think he probably had his feet picked up. I don't think he's ever been trimmed. He's trying to take it away, and I'm just saying, give it to him. Good boy. From the looks of it, I don't think he's ever been trimmed, but good boy. And you can see how he moves around. I've gotten better results after I've worked him and moved his feet. So I'm going to get this other foot. Quit that. He's kind of a nudge. He loves to grab the lead rope and play. Basically, he's kind of a young butthead, but he's very nice. Don't you bite me. Don't you get me. Yeah, he's trying to eat my hat. Stop it. Would you stop trying to eat my hat, young man?
He's funny.
He's a funny horse. But you can see how when you get in, he's a little twitchy. So sometimes it's better to put him to work a little bit and then go to some of your grooming and picking up the feet. I like to do the fronts if I can, just to make sure they don't have any rocks in there. So we'll work on the hinds. So I'm going to go into the round pen with him. I'm going to get my handy dandy stick here. Now, when I worked with this horse for about 20 minutes up in South Dakota the first time, I don't think he'd seen a stick or a bag in the way that I worked with him. I was kind of informed that through the observation of the foreman up there, said the way the bag was used on these horses was more or less to get them not to move off of a bag shaking or a flag. And we thank you very much. Thank you very much. This guy is going to be a character. He's kind of a nudge. Yes, you are. Kind of a funny little boy. So when I picked up a stick or a bag, this guy would kind of jump out of his skin. So what you're seeing is kind of the culmination of several weeks of just basic work. Now, he wouldn't back up. What is that? Are you doing the Spanish walk? Hey. So, come here. You can see he's a funny little horse. He's a 3-year-old. He's got the brain of a baby. I'm going to get you if you don't stop that. He's like our puppy. Now, yeah, go. So backing up, I want these horses to have a basic foundation. And this video is really about as much for the trainer that they're going to go to kind of show what she's in for and what they're able to do. Hey, would you stop it? I better move him around. Now, right here, you see how he's moving. He's all excited today. I'm just going to let him move his feet for a second. He's going, oh, I'm a wild horse. I'm a wild horse. I'm a wild horse. Yes, I am. I'm all excited. Well, we've had some really cold weather the last couple of days. He's going, oh my God. Oh my God. Look at this. He's excited. So they've got a lot of energy. So I'm going to start saying, hey, pay attention to me. Quit acting like a little butthead. Go that way. Woo-hoo! Wild horse. Pick up. Back him up. Move him this way. I'm just going to control all that movement that he's got. Would you get that rope out of your mouth? That's going to hurt you. Hey. Hey. Move. Good boy. Good boy. You're going to see him settle down here in a couple minutes. Right now, his youthful exuberance is going on. You better be careful that his youthful exuberance doesn't stick a leg in your ribs. You can see how he moves. If you look at that back,
yep.
This horse is gaited.
Mm-hmm.
He does have a true trot when he comes down from a canter in the round pen. Now you see, still youthful exuberance. Now, am I going to penalize him right now? I'm just going to keep working him forward till he settles down. You see how he's settled down? Good boy. Good boy. Now I'm just going to ask him to stop for a second. He goes, oh my God, you're going to get back him up. Come to me. Good boy. Stop. So this is a great example of young horses that had not had much handling on the ground. It doesn't take long for them to begin to get a good foundation. I'm going to reward him for not getting too stupid right there. Good boy. Now, I've seen people talk about distance. Oh, you don't need this bubble and blah, blah, blah. If you did not have a good, safe bubble with this horse in his youthful exuberance, he could jump on you, and it wouldn't be a good thing. You've got to be quick. You've got to know where you are in relation to this horse. I'm not going to penalize him for being a young horse. He's a sweetheart. I'm not going to beat him or anything like that. I am going to beat him if he keeps chewing on the lead rope. We just got that. I swear, we just got a little puppy, and he does the same thing. Now, my foundational movements. You've seen this a million times in my videos. Let's ask him to back up. Put a little light pressure. That's beautiful. Now that he's got that weight out, that foot forward, I'm going to ask him to move his shoulder. Beautiful. Now I'm going to turn and look forward and ask him to go forward. Now he's picking up his own speed. That's going to come in time. I'm going to ask him to find, see now he's finding his balance. You notice I'm not having a lot of pressure put on my lead rope. There's that youthful exuberance. He'd like to run around right now. See, he would love it if I just turn him loose in here and let him move. Well, right now I want his brain kind of on me. I want him focusing on me and not getting too crazy, just running around the round pen with blind energy. This is better. And you see how he's moving. I'm going to ask him to walk. Keep directing him forward. Slow him down. Keep directing him forward. Okay, what do you do if a young horse like this does not walk? Well, I'm not going to pull on him. He also has two swirls side by side, and in my experience, that really depicts a horse that has two distinct brains in his head. This side is a completely different horse than the other side. So I'm going to switch his brain back and forth. I'm going to change my stick. I'm going to pick up, ask that rear end to move, ask that front end to move, and go the other way. And this side is much calmer. Look at that. He's walking. So I'm going to pick up, ask that rear end to move, ask that shoulder to move, ask that rear end to move, ask that shoulder to move, ask him to go forward. I'm going to breathe out. Good boy. He's got a lot of energy. So we might be working just to get him focused for a while. Good. Good boy. I'm going to change. When he picks up without me increasing my energy level and I say, I'd like you to slow down. He's got his pacifier in his mouth again, my lead rope. I'm going to wiggle that. Say, go forward. I'm going to wiggle. Wiggle. Look like a dang fish.
Of course, I'm going to love him because he has the personality of a clown.
He's a little bit of a clown, but we don't want him to be it.
No. No, we don't want him to turn into a scary clown.
There we go. Good boy. So I'm going to stop him right there, back him up. He gets scared of birds. I'm going to come in and pet this side of his brain. Because he slowed down, he walked. Now I know the trainer in Texas will be able to see this and at least get an idea, and then she can take it from there. At least we've got them to where we can handle them. I'm going to back him up. You see, it takes very little energy. And once again, everybody, you see I do not have a great big snap on the end of my lead rope. I'm going to... Stop it. You're a bad boy. He is a goof. Man. So when I ask him to back up, it's just that halter talking to him. 1, 2, 3. Let's move your shoulder this way. Let's move your shoulder that way. Now, when I first picked up a stick and a bag in South Dakota, this horse would jump out of his skin. And you can see, it's not so much a worry now. It's just a visual and an energy aid. Good boy, to help him move that shoulder. And now he's walking on. See, now we're starting to make some considerable progress. I'm just getting his brain. There we go. So now I'm going to ask him to pick up. I'm going to stand up a little bit and give him one kiss. See, now he knows I want him to move. I'm going to look forward, walk my circle, be in line with that hip, help him balance up on the circle, which he's really doing pretty good. Right there, he broke into a true trot. So he has the capability of having a true trot, which is a two-beat trot. Okay. So right here, you're going to see he's got a true trot, which this horse reminds me of my foxtrotters that can have a true trot, but they also can have their gaits. And sometimes he's gaited, sometimes he's not. But if I start him off real slow, he's about to show me some more youthful exuberance. So let's see what his canter looks like. You see that right there? That's his canter, which is a gaited canter. Look how smooth his flat back is. And then if I bring him down, he might break into a true trot right there. So he has a true trot on the downward transition most of the time, which is going to be fun for the folks working with this horse. I'm going to ask him to transition down. Is he going to be super smooth? Not yet. This horse has come a long way in a short time, though. Now I'm going to ask him to come down to a walk, which typically is his weak point, transitions down to a walk. So I'm going to really think about my body, not pull on him. There we go. Oh, just when I was going to let you have it. Good boy. Really trying to relax. There we go. Now I'm going to look at his rear end and back him up. Very good, young man. So he's going to be a fun little horse for the folks to work with. I'm going to come in here and pet him. His confidence is just getting so much better. He didn't have a lot of confidence at first because, you know, he was born on the wild side of the sanctuary up there. He was just like any wild Mustang. They bring these young horses in. They're trying to control the birth rate, capture any stallions that are left out in the wild side, and PZP the mares. But they still have a few that get through. They had a lot less babies born this year. He was born about 3 years ago, but he's a really nice little guy. He's got a great mind. He is playful. Like I said, he's a bit of a nudge. Yes, sure. Yes, sir. Good boy. Good boy. Come here. Good boy. Quit playing with that daggum lever. So I'm going to see, I've worked on getting him to start off on a little bit of a leg yield, just with his nose to the rail. And we're going to see if he's learned anything. Good boy. Just a short time ago, you know, he do this whole backing thing. Come on, I'm going to walk forward, ask him to draw that nose through. Get your nose over here. Let's get him to the rail first. Let's push that front end over. I'm going to push that eye, get his front end over right there. Good boy. Good boy. Let him stabilize and relax. Good boy. Now I'm going to ask him to leg yield. 1, 2, 3. Don't get stupid. Let's get it again. Let's finish well. He says, I'm learning. I'm trying my best. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful young man. Good boy. Good boy. I'm not going to ask for perfection. That's pretty nice, though. Good boy. He says, man, you're making me do some crazy stuff here. Come on. I'm looking around. I want to bring his nose around me to the rail this way. Come on. Drive forward. Come on. So they got a long way to go, but this is just the beginnings. You're all right. Good boy. Let him stabilize right in here. He's anticipating me. I'm just going to walk forward till I can get his front end over right there. Good boy. A little bit more. Good boy. Keep going. See, I'm not going to get into the movement until I get him prepared. He's got to be in position. Prepare to a position, as everybody likes to say. Right there. Keep going. He wants to face me up, like a lot of Mustangs. They want to always face you up and make sure you're not doing something ugly to him. I'm just going to get his nose to the rail, right there. And faces me. See, this brain over here in this particular movement is not as trusting as the other side. So I'm going to slow my feet down. Let him just relax. Good boy. Good boy. Easing into the movement. Easing into it. Let's get him up here. Good boy. There we go. Now I'm going to ask him to move. So what's the leg yield? You'll see these feet crossing. Good boy. Again, not going to ask for perfection, but that's pretty dang good for a young horse that several weeks ago had not had hardly anything ever on the ground. Good boy. Okay. So I'm going to turn him loose. Now, I've been working on some other things on the ground, but we'll show those. Maybe I can get another video in before they leave. They're supposed to be leaving within this week. And let's see how my communication with him has been getting without the halter. Right, young man? Are you going to be a butthead? Yes, sir. All right. So I'm going to ask him to head off to my left. I'm going to look left. I'm going to close this door. Ask him to go out to the railing. I'm going to line up at that hip. And ask him to go forward. Ask him to go forward. See, he wanted to cut back. So I'm going to make sure that this door is closed. So I'll slam that door in his face and just say, go that way. And he understood. He's licking and chewing. He's going, okay, well, that was the wrong answer, wasn't it? Now, I don't care what he does right now as far as moving forward. He can gait, he can run, he can buck and fart and everything else he wants to do as long as he's going in my direction. And then, after a few times around, I'll start asking to control the gaits. So he came down to a walk. Very good. Good boy. Good boy. That's a lot quicker than in the past of him getting past that youthful exuberance when he's free. Very good. Now I'm going to use my number one tool, my core, and ask him. He says, "I'm here for my close-up." I'm going to stand up a little taller. See, picking up that walk, and ask him to move forward a little bit. There we go. There we go. Without just bursting off all the time. That's what he was doing the first week or so. He just, once I asked him to pick up pace, he'd just go, okay, I'm going to do it really fast. Now he's starting to control it. Now that's his true trot right there. Let's see if I can bring him down into a gait. And then up, using my body. So he's kind of choosing the true trot. That's fine. Let's move him out a little bit. There's his youthful exuberance. Good boy. So I'm going to reward him for even changing that speed and that gait right now. I'm not going to get all crazy. Now, if he kicked at me in that wildness, then I'm going to flag the heck out of him and tell him that's the wrong answer. But right now, I just keep looking forward, lining up at that hip and getting him to move forward. This is the beginning stages of his education. And I'm hoping the trainer in Texas will see this and be able to carry this on if this is in her repertoire. But this at least shows that he's willing to pay attention. See, he's telling me right now, he goes, okay, I'm waiting for the next command. I might have to poop again. Time out. Good boy. There we go. He's starting to respond to the 2 kisses with Cannon. What you're doing? I'm going to pick him up one more time this way. He's picking up on that 2 kiss for Canner. Look how smooth that is. That's going to be a beautiful ride right there. Now I'm going to ask him to come down. I'll ask him to come down. I'm going to ask him to get out on the rail a little bit more. There we go. Good boy. Now I'm going to pull this eye. Get him to face me up. I'm going to just hang out over here, relax. Let him think about things and contemplate life. Good boy. I like this old horse. He's going to be a great horse down the road. Good boy. No, yes, I would like him to walk over. If he chooses to stand there, he's doing the right thing right now. He's facing me. Good boy. Good boy. Well, I don't know. This is scary. Somebody standing on a step with something in their hand. I don't know if I should come over, but I'm overwhelmed by this guy's amazingness. So
yeah, right.
I'm coming over. that. You went, whoa, wait a minute, that was scary. Okay. I'm just gonna pet him and let him think. Good boy. Now I don't want to get these boys too hot today, so they're not going to get work very long because it's still pretty dang chilly. In fact, the sun was dipping behind some clouds and the temperature dropped about 5 degrees outside. So I'm just going to keep it simple, stupid. Good boy. Good boy. I'm going to step over here. Ask him, I'm going to push this eye right here and raise that stick and drive him forward, looking out there where I want him to go. So you say, you've only had this horse a few weeks, he's doing all this? Yes, if you can keep things consistent, teach these guys the very basic step by step, they're going to pick it up pretty quickly. And you don't have to make big movements. You don't have to get in here and chase your horse around. But you do have to do something. And that's another thing that I'm seeing a lot lately that is a whole other conversation. People are getting Mustangs and staying around for 9 months and never get them haltered. So the important thing, I think, is to be able to balance out what's too much and too little with these horses. So, you see, now he's nice and calm, he's walking this way. So he picked it up a lot quicker in the transition from, right or left to right. So I'm going to pick him up now, stand up tall, look forward, ask him to move, give him 3 seconds right there. 2, 3, he needs a little help. Again, pick up, because that was too much. Raising that bag that much is too much. Let's bring him down. Good boy. Let's pick him up. Then a true trot there. So you're going to be able to control the gaits a lot more when you're up on him and you're shaking him up and getting him balanced, and you'll be able to get this horse easy. Let's pick him up a little bit. That was nice departure. Ooh, he goes, oh, big wild horse. Good boy. Bring him down. Let's think walk. So in your mind, when I say think walk, start picturing that horse walking. If you picture that, your body will respond. He'll respond to your body. Beautiful job, young man. He goes, you guys are getting in between you. So again, I'm going to change my stick. I'm going to pick it up like it weighs nothing. Ask that rear end to step around. Back up right there. And look. Be sideways. Bring a stick over behind you. Just let him think. He's a good boy. He said, wow, I'm not getting petted over here. Good boy. I'm going to ask him to pay a little attention. Good boy. Give him time to think. Pay attention. Hey. He gets distracted easy. When it's a warm day and there's other horses around, so I'm going to put a little pressure on him here. Back up. Good boy. Good boy. Put a little pressure. Get him to focus on you. That's not a bad thing. Hey. Good boy. I just smack my leg a little bit. Hey. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Now I'm going to come over and say hello to him. Notice I keep the stick behind me. My eyes are down. The brim of my hat keeps his eyes from focusing on my eyes. Right here, I know where he is. I can pet him. And he doesn't have to sit there and look at my eyes like I'm a predator. Good boy. That's what hats are for. Good boy. These These are a tool. So I'm going to walk off here. Let's see if I've got this little wild horse in my pocket. Good boy. See, that's when I know I'm making good success. All right. So for the sake of brevity today, and I don't want to get him too worked up, this is all we're going to do. I'm going to get Diablo, and we're going to mess with him a little bit. And we're going to put that all together and let you see how a beautiful little Spanish Mustang moves. So stay tuned. All right, we're going to go in and get number 2. And this little guy is Diablo. You're going to see that he's an interesting color, which is called the grulla, which is very indicative of the Spanish Mustang. And Mr. Diablo, he didn't want to get caught at first either. Now, once I go to put this halter on, he may kind of say, all right, that's enough. But the Spanish Mustang, what are they? He was out of a BLM caught sulfur mare, which she was also a grulla. And the sulfur horses are kind of notorious for their wildness, and there's a few pockets of the Spanish Mustangs around the country. Now, why are they so sensitive and difficult for people sometimes? Because they were wild when the Spanish brought them over here. These are the original little wild horses from Spain, the Spanish barbs, those type of horses. So they caught them wild because they were very durable and they could live on just about anything. So they just went back to their wildness when they got over here. This guy, he's what we would call an American Mustang, which is a multitude of breeds. So, you know, they're not going to look the same. They don't move the same. The other indications, the short back, the bars on the legs, when he sheds out, he's going to have bars on his shoulders and his legs, and he's got the dun stripe. The grulla is just a color gene. This guy also has amber eyes. Now see, he's trying his best right now. Good boy. And I'm going to ask him very nicely not to go away. Oh, what is it with you two? You want to eat my daggum halter every time. And see, he was a little bit more nervous about me getting this halter on, but this again is the best he's done with letting me catch him right out of the box. And part of it is he doesn't have near as much room to move around. But if he did, I'd just smack my leg and ask him to face me up. So that was great. So we're going to go into the arena again. And the temperature's dropping, so I'm probably going to work him a little bit less than I did Arrow today, because I do not want them getting sweaty. So stay tuned. So you're going to see quite a difference between Mr. Diablo and Arrow. Now, I personally call this horse Mr. Cream Puff, because I want him to be sweet and soft as a cream puff, instead of Diablo, the devil. You'll see he's got amber eyes. He's got this short back, very powerful build. Now, why do you say that we have so many failed adoptions with Spanish Mustangs? Well, a lot of people pick these horses out because they're so dang pretty, but they don't take into consideration their instincts, their temperament. And then when they get in trouble, they don't know which way to go. This little guy, he's extremely smart. And the issue with Spanish Mustangs is I think they're probably smarter than the average person. So if you don't know what you're doing, they know it, and they let you know that they know it. And people don't like to be reminded that they don't know something. So again, I'm going to go right back to my basic work. Can I get him to back up? And he's going, okay, I'll try. There we go. Can I get him to move his shoulders? Very easily. I'll ask him to move forward right here. Good boy. Now, just like Arrow, he's got to move his feet a little bit, but he's not as explosive with his energy right now, which is great. He's just kind of going, okay. Good boy. Now this little guy could not go a circle without trying to pull on me to save his life when I first got him in. He had no idea what moving around a balanced circle was. And he's really interested in smelling this ground because he smells his buddy in here. Now I'm going to ask him to move out a little bit and pay attention to me. He's going, whoa, a wild horse. And he might have a little explosive, youthful exuberance too, but he comes back to me really quick. Good boy. I'll ask him to walk. There we go. You say, how did you ask him to walk? Just settle in. Good boy. Now this little guy looks at me very intently. He's going, okay, are you going to get me or are you going to pet me? Good boy. So again, I'm going to ask him to back up. Wait for him to respond. There. Ask him to move his shoulder. Good boy. Pivot. Line up with his hip. Ask him to walk forward. Shape him up a little bit right there. Now his right direction is, his right brain is a little bit more resistant than his left. He takes a little bit more to balance up on this side. And I had to, he was really pulling at me when I first started him. And I had to kind of bend him around a couple times and let him know, you know what, that wasn't the thing to do. So now all I have to do is shape him up right here. Shape him up, let him go. Shape him up. So I'm pushing this hip forward, raising this lead rope to his withers, driving him forward so he bends a little bit, let him go. Shaping, let him go. When he feels that I'm not pulling on him or making him change his balance, he gets off of it. Good boy, right there. Good boy. Shaping, driving forward, let him go. Shaping, driving forward, let him go. Good boy. Driving forward. Do you think about pulling on me a little bit? Right now I'm going to ask him to change directions. I'm going to say go this way, go this way. There we go. That probably was his issue, going that way. He wanted to poop, and I was saying, no, I'd rather you shape up. So let's see if I change directions quickly, if he'll balance up better, and see if that was the issue. Good boy. I'm going to ask him to trot. You know, see, I think that was the issue. Look how much softer he is now. There he balanced up. He said, I was just looking for a place to poop, man, and you were trying to make me balance. Hard to balance when you got to poop. Good boy. Good boy. I'm going to feed him a little lead rope out. Good boy. He says, I'm going to drag you around a little bit. Okay? He's on the wrong lead in the rear end. There he's shaped up. Watch him slow down. I'm going to pull you around a little bit. What do I do? I'm going to say that's probably not in your best interest. I'm going to say that was pretty youthful exuberance trying to drag me around. Now, let's get control of that, young man. Let's get control of that. He got in the wrong lead in that rear end, and that really got him going. Let's see if he'll be a little bit more polite this time. Good. Good. Good pull. Easy. Relax a little bit. He's got so much that time. I'm going to change, pick up, back him up, finish that back up. And come to, stop, back him up a little bit. Hey, back up a little bit, back up. You got your blood moving. Good boy. Good boy. Always a good boy. I know you're all excited now, aren't you? Don't push me. Don't push me. You're all excited. You're all excited. Yes, sir. Good boy. He's a baby. He's a baby. I'm going to back him up, move the shoulder. So all this stuff, it's the same things pretty much over and over, but a lot of this is all about getting these horses just relaxed and moving and we'll balance up. Good boy. I'm going to close this door. Good boy. Let him move out. Stand up tall. Let's pick it up. Let him think. Very good. So that was a great departure. He caught his lead. I'll bring him down. Good boy. Good boy. And bring him down. Good boy. Pick up. Back him up. I like to start with the back up, finish with the back up. And I might bring him to me. I want to see how soft he can get. Stop. Good boy. Yes, sure. He's a good boy. Now, there's a lot of other movements. And again, I've been working on just getting them to be able to move. I'm going to ask him to move his hind end forward and around. Drive him forward in a disengagement of the hindquarters with forward motion. Right there. Let's get that. Let's get that. And let him know the sticks. See how he's trying to spin? I want him to be able to move forward. Good boy. Good boy. And then I'll just stop. Good boy. Yes, sir. So they get used to that stick and used to the bag and the pressure. Does not mean that that bag's going to kill him. See, he's going, oh, but now it's touching me. Oh, but now it's touching me and making me crazy. But I'm saying, no, it's not. No, it's not. There we go. Look at that. Good boy. If people use these bags and sticks to shake in their face and to get them to stand stock still a lot of times it really depends on how you're doing it. You can actually teach your horse to brace up and then explode when they can't handle it anymore. I'm asking this guy to learn to give. You see this hind end? See, he hasn't had his hind legs picked up. So he's still touchy with his hind end. So this is how I'm going to start. I've gotten his front legs up and clean, but his hind legs he's still pretty protective of. So you see, I can be way up here and get that, and it's not that bad. So I'll walk away with that. And I'll take it. Good boy. He didn't clock me in the head, and that's what I really like. I'm going to come in here and rub this side. And I'm going to ask this leg to not be so worried. And I'm going to take that off. So I'm very pleased with that. Now I could walk away, create some energy with this bag, and just let him follow me. You see, he's not jumping out of his skin. He's wary. He's going, oh, I've never seen anything like that. Well, he has a few times since he's been here. Good boy. So that's a lot of energy, but it's going away. I'm going to pick this bag up, let him see it, come in and pet it. You see, he didn't jump out of the skin right there. Good boy. He's still wary. But now, you're going, well, he's not jumping out of his skin. But if I back him up, come on. and raise that stick, see my energy changed. So it's asking him to move over. And when I'm looking forward, creating the flow of energy forward, and I raise that bag, it's there to say, this door is closed, please move forward. Good boy. Okay, I'm going to pick him up, look at his rear end, back him up. Let's move this shoulder over this way. Come on, baby. Let's go right into the leg yield. One. See, if I get even 1 or 2 steps out of these guys sometime, I'm going to be happy. There you go. There you go. Touching. See, he started moving into me, so I reached out and touched him. He moved big. That was a big correction. Now, 1. Don't put your butt my way. Good boy. 1, 2. Good boy. Good boy. Now, if I had these horses another few months, you're going to see all I'd have to do is get my body in position. That horse is going to be trotting in a leg yield. And smooth and not worried. So I'm asking him to move here. Move, move. Good boy. Come over this way and set his nose up to the rail here. And pet him, because he did just what I wanted him to do. Now I'm going to push him sideways. Raise this arm. Get his shoulder back up here. Good boy. Ask him to go sideways. There's a step. Good boy. I'm going to really reward that right there. Let him know he did good. Remember, this guy's super smart. But he's also very sensitive. He's very wary. So we want to get things done in a manner I can reach out and touch him. There, see? This also starts getting him used to a leg. Good boy. Don't get your head over the railing. Move. There's a step. I want him facing me a little bit. Reach out. Reach out. Reach out. He's touchy right there. You see that? Good boy. This will help him get used to legs and not freak out. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. There you go, young man. He's got a long way to go. He's more sensitive on this side with that back. But that's okay. I'm going to come in here and pet him. Very nice. I'm just going to send him real quick each way. We're going to call it a day. What was that? What was that? Ice falling off the roof? Well, let's see. So how touchy he was that hind leg. He was that touchy with these front legs when I first started. And again, good boy. When I first started, I had to loop this rope on him and just start getting his feet up. That was good. So I've been able to clean his fronts, and I've started working on those hinds. I probably won't get them by the time they go to Texas. But at least he started. You're a good boy. I really like this little guy. He's super smart, but he is also a little resistant. And it's going to take consistency. Calm, assertive consistency with this horse. Lots of repetition. Get his confidence up. Yes, sir. Come with me. You see how he holds on to me? Because he does recognize me as kind of a leader for him. He's a young horse. They're looking for leaders. Now, I'm going to close this door right here. See, he chose to go this way, and I'm going to close that door. Let him find that way. See, no pressure now. He knows I can go that way. It's all smooth sailing. Good boy. We're going to make this final little bit pretty quick. temperature's dropping. Come on, young man. Come on. Come on, buddy. He's going, but I smell his poop. I know he's somewhere. Ask him to go. Good boy. I'm going to hold up his shoulder a little bit so he doesn't get that wrong lead. Pick up my energy and ask him to canter. Good boy. Very nice. Bring him down. Pick up my energy. Good boy. Good boy. And bring him down. See, I don't have to run him until he can't breathe. That's not about what a round pin is for. I'm going to think walk. Now he's coming in on me, so before he walks, I want him out there to the railing. There we go. Good boy. Let's pull his eye. Pay attention, young man. There you go. Now you see the difference between these two horses. This really smart one, he's very much looking for that calm, assertive leader. If I ever punish this horse, we're done.
Yeah,
with
he would
our
never.
relationship.
He would never forgive you.
Oh, I'm going to punish you if you eat my jacket. You're a good boy. So I'm going to look this way. I'm going to open the door that way. Ask him to go. Good boy. Now, like I said, I don't care as long as he goes my direction what he does the first 3, 4, 5 times around. And sometimes 10 times around if they got a lot of energy they need to get out. As long as they go my direction. And then you'll see like him. 2, 3 times around, he's going, okay, that was fun. Now I can ask him to transition his gait and speed. There we go. I ask him to trot. Let's ask him to canter. Let's stand up tall. Pick up a little energy. Look at that. So I just rode him faster. I didn't even have to give him 2 kisses. Let's think trot. Let's soften ourselves. Let's think walk. You can see my body slowing down though I stay with him. I'm looking forward. Relax. Good. Hey, pay attention to me, young man. Remember that these guys are only 3 and they are babies. And they have a short attention span and they are ADD at best. Oh, he's a baby. Oh, he's a baby. But you see how he responds to that kind of work. This horse may not be a 90-day, 100-day horse, whatever. But over the course of 6 months, I mean, you're going to really see he's 3. I wouldn't even want to ride him a whole lot. Just get his brain, start getting him going. You know, if it was me, and over the course of 6 months to a year, this horse will be just fantastic as long as people don't get brutal with them and they don't push them past their limit at that time. They're going to be wonderful. He's going, but my buddy's calling me. So I'm extremely pleased with these guys. Diablo and Arrow, they won't be here much longer, but at least I wanted to get a video up of them and see where they were. And you're going to see some new Mustangs coming in here pretty soon. BLM Mustang, another one from the sanctuary. So Sean Davies, ColoradoReinsman, stay tuned. Diablo, do not eat the back of my jacket, you big silly. He's going, but I love you, man. I love you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned.